and the change in attitude towards me and all of that since August of last year. Because all I can really do is speculate. But at the same time, I do want to clarify a whole lot of stuff to everyone. All right. First of all, right now, PPP is sitting on his Twitter very hurriedly and scaredly tweeting. I don't know why. It's like the guy's terrified about what I'm going to say or something. I don't know. I don't get it. It's like he still doesn't get it of who I am today versus who I used to be. I don't know. But he's just going crazy on there, saying a million things. Oh, this and that about all toxic stuff. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not sitting there reading your Twitter. People are talking about it in my chat. I'm never going to read it. I don't care. All right. I don't know what his problem is, but yes, I did watch Raw Arcane. I'm ready for tonight's show. So here's what happened. Here's the history, and here's why I feel it's gone this way. Okay. I'm going to tell you as matter-of-factly as I can from the knowledge that I have, but I'm not going to reveal any private stuff or anything like that. I'm not. I'm going to be fair here. I'm not going to be some kind of a snake in a dick, but here's what I think has happened, okay? Originally, back in August, and then into that early September, all right, I think that when I reached out to Kino Casino and then they responded and we did that initial content, which if you remember, it was me appearing on their show for the first interview and hangout session, watching and kind of looking at the toxic lol cow content together. And then it was us doing the interview with Josh Moon, the owner of Kiwi Farms. And then it was the co-op gameplay of Chained Together, right? I feel like we struck a hot iron or whatever the hell you want to say, whatever you call it. I don't know the saying, but like that was something that had never been done before. Everyone else had always treated me like dirt and never even giving me a chance to speak. And they did the opposite. And because of that, it actually exploded. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was excited about it. Like, holy shit. DSP is actually interesting and entertaining when you give him the opportunity to do these kind of interactions instead of just completely just fucking, deriding him, which is all people had done for like a decade, right? Then they went on vacation for a month. And I'm not going to fault them for that or anything like that at all, okay? They went on vacation for a month, which had already been pre-planned and all of that. And I do feel like that sadly kind of stifled that momentum that we initially had, because when you're sitting around for a month and you're like, gee, what content will come next? And there's none. Now, I did my best during that month to maintain. If you remember, that was the month where I interviewed Keemstar on the Level 1 podcast right here. And that went really well. Again, that kind of exploded, right? It went crazy how popular it went. And people loved it and said, more, Phil, more. Give us more of this kind of content. So then I had Stuttering Craig on the show. And the guy literally exposed himself the most I think anyone has ever exposed himself, completely went mask off, freaking out, saying crazy stuff. I want to donate the money I made off your detractors. Wait, I want to give it to you. Wait, what? No, fuck you, Phil. Like, wait, what? So that was a wild interview. It really was. It was crazy. Never expected it to go that way. That was good content, right? Then I had the interview. Well, then I reacted to my documentary by June the King. And then I had the interview with June the King. Admittedly, I don't think the interview with June the King went the way anyone wanted. It was pretty darn boring because we all thought that maybe he'd have stuff to say about, researching me and stuff like that, right? And it just ended up being kind of a blah conversation until we actually started talking about other creators, for example, Wings of Redemption. Then finally, there's a little bit of redeeming qualities in that interview and stuff like that, right? But then after that, when the casino came back, we kind of tried to resume and pick up where we left off, but this is where things fell apart. And I honestly don't think it's anyone's fault who was involved. Allow me to explain. All right? For many, 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 many years, every single person on the internet wanted to use me as their easy, low-hanging fruit, their easy payday, their target where, hey, if I have a day where I just make fun of Darkside Phil, I'll make profit because he's the meme that everyone likes to make fun of, right? And this just persisted for the longest damn time. Well, all of a sudden, now that I was actually getting positive attention, people were listening to what I had to say instead of just deriding me and writing me off. Now was the opportunity to clap back. Take a look at the interview with Josh Moon. It went really well. I said my side, he said his side. We didn't really come to an agreement or a middle road, but it was still fascinating content, right? Fascinating. It was really, really good. So the whole idea was, let's keep making that fascinating content because Kino Casino is a great middle ground for that kind of content. You could have me on versus these other people who've always been toxic or accusatory towards me, and let's hash it out. Let's actually see what your real problem is with me, and let's figure it out together, right? And that was the whole point. Okay, all of it, like that's how it was going to go. And of course, occasionally there was going to be other content where maybe I would do some gameplay with those guys. I would show up on their show and there'd be another interview where we talk about other things, right? And then systematically what happened was very simple, all right? Every single person who we reached out to and contacted and said, hey, listen, now is the time. Because over the years, you've been so critical of Phil. So let's do this. Let's do this show. Let's have Kino Casino be the neutral place to do this. You know, internet blood sport, right? Let's do it. Let's hash it out. And it could end up like the Josh Moon interview. It could end up like the Stuttering Craig interview. It could be like any, who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be exciting content for everybody involved. And all we heard was no, 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 no. Okay? Why did we hear no? Well, all I can do is speculate. But my speculation is pretty simple. These people who over the years have always wanted to come at me have always wanted to come at me because I was the easy win. I was the easy target. Everyone else was already doing it. You already know there's an installed, established group of people who are going to throw you money if you bring me up in a negative or toxic manner. They're brainwashed to do it. It's literally a cult on the internet, right? So since now this was going to be different, well, guess what? I don't want to do it anymore. No, when it's going to be fair, there's going to be an actual interview where Phil can talk and I can talk, and it's not completely one-sided. Fuck that. I want nothing to do with that because that's not what I was ever interested in. I just wanted the easy win. I just wanted to go back and beat the dead horse the 100th time to get some more money. I never really cared about crapping on Phil. I cared about the easy target. And now if that target's not easy anymore, I'm just not going to do it. All right? So I'm not talking, oh, this happened once, this happened twice. This happened like a ton of times where we were trying to get people lined up. We were going to do this work together. Just fail, fail, fail. And there's nothing we can really do about that, right? So in that regard, okay, I can't fault Kino Casino at all. I don't think that it's their fault that stuff that it happened like that. I feel like if people had bought in, there might have been some times when I came out looking better, other times when the other person came out looking better, and I would have been fine with that. Like, seriously, that would have been good to me, and it would have been good content, and man, it would have been variety stuff. I still would have been able to do my stuff on my channel, but still brought drama into it time to time. I would have been able to be in their stuff. It just didn't work out like that for whatever reason. Was it because the month vacation? I don't know. But, you know, that's life. That's what happens. Sometimes shit doesn't work out, right? So we did still try. If you do take a look, I tried to do more stuff with them in October. It didn't really click. Tried to do the whole Gunt Busters event where we were going to go after Ethan Ralph, and we all dressed up like the Ghostbusters. It didn't really work because at the time, no one really cared about Ethan Ralph, but a lot of stuff was going on with Review Tech. So when I came on the show, we ended up talking more about Review Tech than Ralph, and then it kind of got derailed, and it was confusing. And then for Halloween, we did the co-op of zombies, which I thought worked. But the thing is, that's more for my audience. You know what I'm saying? Like the zombies co-op is more for a DSP gaming audience. It's not for a casino audience. The casino wants the drama. Where was the drama in that? There was none, right? And then the last thing that I really did with them was the election special, which honestly I thought was fun, but I was already doing my own content and I couldn't just drop everything to be on their show. And I did jump on for a little while and I enjoyed what I did when I was doing it, but I just couldn't be there all night. Okay? And that's really where the actual cooperative content kind of ended. You know, we talked, hey, maybe I'll come on the show again. Maybe we'll do something else together, yada, yada, yada. We talked about it, and nothing really happened. All right? And then finally, where we actually did come to an agreement that we thought something that would work was the Smart Guys coming back, the wrestling commentary. What Jasper's doing down there is distracting me. I really feel like that was the best idea because I love pro wrestling. PPP likes pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that together was like the perfect combo, and it was going to work. And to be honest, I think it does work. Okay? I do. I think that the show is great. All right? Now, that's kind of the content history that we have, right? I don't think that it's anyone's particular fault, all right? But then what ended up happening is this year, basically, okay, I really have to be fair here. I pretty much talk with PPP directly. That's it. I've had some conversations with Andy about stuff behind the scenes, but not very many. It's mostly me always talking to PPP. We're the ones who are planning, brainstorming, having the discussions about stuff, content, and stuff like that. Andy, I don't know to what extent he is involved in the planning of the show. All right. But for the most part, I'm always talking with PPP. So I just want this to come off fairly. I don't want to be like, oh, the casino. Not really. It's really PPP who I talk to when it comes to this stuff. All right. Andy, it's fun because a couple times we've talked and we're like, man, we should do some gameplay together and we should do some stuff like that because we're gamers. It just never happens. Like I've expressed interest in that. I said, sure, let's do some co-op gameplay. I think my viewers would like that. Your viewers would like that. It doesn't happen. Okay. I don't know why. It just never came together. I was still to this day, I think it would be awesome if we did some co-op gameplay. Okay. But it just never happened. Right. So this year, discussions began about more content for me to be involved in, crossover content with the casino and stuff like that. But sadly, all those ideas that we had last year are pretty dead. There's no one who wants to come on the show and do a interview/internet blood sport with me. Instead, it's got to be, other stuff. And we definitely tossed around a lot of different ideas. Okay, we did. But most of them, sadly, have to do with pure drama. And if you were on the show yesterday or you watched my podcast yesterday, I told you that I feel there's 3 routes I can take forward as a content creator. Road number 1 is be a complete shill sellout. Take every sponsorship opportunity, kiss every game's butt, say everything is good, give you referral links, ads out the ass, be a complete shill. And I would definitely make bank doing that. Road number 2 is to be a complete drama queen asshole, to regain the King of Hate title, attack everyone on the internet, cause tons and tons of crap for everyone, but in the same time create such a whirlpool, a vortex of drama that undoubtedly everyone would be talking about it. I'd be at odds with everyone. It would be absolutely crazy, lose control, but everyone would be talking about it. Attention out the ass, it would explode. And then there's option number 3, which is the option that I've really been trying hard to work and maintain, is to just be me. To not be fake either way, but instead to just be me and maintain the course that I have. But the only way I'm going to actually be successful at doing that is essentially to have to ask for contributions every single stream, because that's the only way that I'm going to hit goals and be successful, because I'm not getting the sponsors and I'm not getting the drama money. Okay? So I'll tell you right now, PPP absolutely thinks the best course of action is the drama route. No shit. Why wouldn't he? What's this whole show about? Right? Drama. His entire show, the entirety of it, it's just covering people in a dramatic way. And I get it. And I have no issue with that. Now, listen, I don't have to agree with that content, and I don't have to like that content, but I certainly can respect that hustle. I certainly can respect that life, okay? But it doesn't mean I have to live it. And basically, PPP this year wanted to get me heavily involved in all kinds of drama and stuff, all right? But that's as far as I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you anything because that's private shit, all right? But basically, I kind of turned it down, left, right, up, down, in every direction. Not to say that I wasn't willing to play ball or try stuff, but I was convinced. I keep turning this camera on and off. It's annoying me. I was convinced that sadly, if I did go as far and do these things that these guys, or I say these guys, it was basically just, PPP, the stuff that they had these plans for, I was going to have to throw away 17 years of work that I had, put into the blood, the sweat, the tears that I had put into my work to get where I am today. Because as I said yesterday, if I go all the way into the drama, 100%, okay, I can't go back. You understand that, right? Like if I 100% become a drama creator, someone who's all about this dramatic content, going at everyone's throat, there's no way that I could continue to also be the chill gamer, right? I couldn't do it. It would end, and I would have to 100% change the format and the content. It wouldn't work together. And quite frankly, to be transparent with everyone here, during the fall, when I was during this kind of fluctuating period of doing drama with Kino Casino and still doing my gaming content, many of my viewers, longtime viewers from over the years, reached out to me and said, Phil, we just don't like where we see you going. We understand why you're doing it. Look, you're getting extra views. You're getting extra popularity. People are coming over from the casino and they're, contributing to your content. They're making you have the biggest rise you've had in over a decade. So we understand it. It's a means to an end. But we hope that you just don't lose yourself in all of this. Okay? And now I'm going to be honest with everyone. This is something that I've told no one, actually. I've had private conversations with Kat, my wife, about it. And, again, when you're going through stuff in life that's way more dire and serious and fucked up stuff, okay? And then you're going to go to the internet and you're going to do drama content. It's kind of like, what? Like, don't you have enough going on in your real life that you're dealing with, that you're juggling, that you don't need to be also manufacturing this fucking drama on the internet just to make a paycheck? You know what I mean? And we had these discussions like, get it, I'm making more money, but we're already completely stressed out about all of this shit that's going on in our real life. Why do we also need to have this drama shit on the internet? It's like drama in real life, drama on the internet, drama everywhere I turn. You got to have a break from it at some point, And so we talked about it and said, it's just not the right choice. Just like years ago when there was a possibility that I would be working with Keemstar and maybe I would be part of Lolcow Live and all of that, had the same conversations. Like, no, this is not the right choice. Because if we go the drama route, I'll be stuck there forever. I won't ever be able to return. That's like, once you jump off the cliff, you can't turn around in midair and climb back up. And it would be a cliff I would be jumping off of. I totally feel it. All right? So I'm sorry. That's just what happened. We made a decision. I can't just be doing this over the top level of drama constantly. It's not going to work. Every once in a while, it's all right to do some kind of content like that for variety and if it's refreshing or if you know what I'm saying. But you can't just do that constantly. Right. You know what? Someone actually just brought up my own line that I forgot about. Once you put on the clown makeup, you can't ever take it off again. So if I jump fully into this drama content and this is who I am and I become the villain of the internet and I'm just, sure, I'd get popularity. Sure, you'd have places like Kino Casino and Lolcow Live and everyone talking about me and covering me. But then that's it. It's like you're giving up. I've given up at making any kind of stuff that I feel good about or meaningful about. And listen, other people probably do feel good about that content. And that's okay if they do. But I'm wired different than them. And it's okay for people who are in different walks of life, of different age ranges, of different experiences, to have different opinions. That's the variety. That's the spice of life, is that there's different people who have these different takes. If everyone was of the same mind, life would be boring. You could have someone over here that's all about drama. You could have someone over here that's not. And that's okay. But it just seems to me like on the internet, you've either got to be black or white. You're either all the way or you're not. And I don't get that. I just don't. It actually is pretty much annoying me because I would like every once in a while, if something stupid's going on, like if Review Tech is being an asshole to me again and I'm just kind of bored there, I need to vent, that I could just open up his stream and laugh at him for a podcast. And then we could just go back to normalcy. But the internet doesn't seem to think that. They think, oh, you're either all in or you're not. Man, you said you weren't going to do this content anymore. So how dare you go back and never do it? That's dumb as fuck. No, really, that's just so ignorant of a mindset that you have to be all in. You don't have to be. You could do different things, you know? And that's kind of what I would like to do. I really like making gameplay, chilling with you guys and doing variety content. Like the Lego stream last night is great. I like the wrestling commentary on Smart Guys. I love doing this podcast and I like gaming. These are all things I like. Will any of those things particularly ever blow up huge and become giant and get me thousands of viewers and make me bajillions of dollars? Probably not. But because I work hard and the work ethic that I have has maintained for as long as it has, I have the viewer base I have the supporters I have, and that's why I'm still here and I'm still successful. If I were a schlub and I slacked off and I wasn't busting my ass, then I'd be gone. But that's why I have succeeded while everyone else has had to go, I'm the sellout, I'm the drama guy. I haven't had to do that. Did you notice? It's a little different, I know, and people can't handle it, but it's true. I'm still here. I don't have to be all in on that shit. You understand? And this year, it really felt like I was getting a lot of pressure from PPP to go all in on drama. And I just didn't want to do it. I said, I'll do this to this extent. I'll do this to some extent. I don't think this is going to work because I think that this is going to leave me in a bad position. It's going to leave me holding the bag of trying to maintain stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't want to make drama content 24/7. Okay? And so I think what's happened is over the last several months, since basically none of the ideas that PPP came up with I would really roll with, all right, he soured against me. His opinion towards me has definitely soured, and he's very frustrated. He's upset, and now he feels really the only way to move forward is to try to do something drastic. Because if you notice, the rhetoric against me picked up big. All of a sudden, he's still bringing up my wife every stream. It's like, why would he do that all of a sudden out of nowhere? Because he feels like he's going to force the hand. He's going to push he's going to push that envelope. He's going to make Phil play his hand of cards, right? He wanted me to come out today and just explode. But I'm not doing that. I'm just very calmly and matter-of-factly explaining to you what's happened, okay? Now, it sucks because here's the thing. I feel like we work together well, and I feel like Smart Guys is a great show. I do. But at one point, you've got to put your foot down, and you've got to have some kind of self-respect. And I'm just not going to allow the guy to just say and do whatever he wants and think that he has free reign to disrespect my family just because I want to have him as part of Smart Guys. So that's why I made the decision. All right? And it's that simple. Doesn't matter what he says or does. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter how he kinds to cope, because that's what he's doing. He's coping all over Twitter today, posting up 1 million cope tweets. I don't care. All right? I really don't. It's sad because I really feel like that he is a guy who can be really fun to work with, and he's funny as well, and he brings that hype, and he brings that energy. He's the ultimate pitch guy. He's the Paul Heyman of drama content on the internet, right? That's how I feel. But at what expense? Because I'm not going to become full-time Kino Casino, full-time drama. I'm just not going to do that. I don't want to. All right? And just to make this perfectly clear again, I know that nothing that I say and do will ever change how he acts or what he says. He very well might go on the casino tomorrow, and the entire show is just going over this podcast and felting me. And if that's it, so be it. You know, who cares? I can't stop that. I've only been going through that for, I don't know, like 13 straight years anyway. So it's not like it's a big deal to me. But I don't have to put up with that behavior and still have him as a part of my content. I have control over the content I put out on the internet. So, therefore, smart guys will be solo moving forward. And by the way, we'll talk about this tonight. I'm curious how the show will do as a solo show. And I'm also curious if ever I should seek out another co-host. I don't know if that would work. If I could find someone who's passionate about wrestling, who'll watch the shows, who'll show up and be a part of the show. Because I do think that Smart Guys works better as a co-show with another person. I don't think that it will be as good just as a solo show. Although, admittedly, if the show is me talking with all of you, that's a different dynamic entirely, which we haven't had yet. We haven't had that dynamic of, hey, big interaction during Smart Guys. It's been me and PPP, and every once in a while we read something from the chat, right? So there you go. All right. Now, here's the thing. That's it. That's really all I have to say about it. To be frank, I'm not going to sit here and insult PPP. I'm not going to go crazy. And by the way, again, for the record, I've never had a negative interaction with Andy at all. I don't have a negative word to say about Andy either. Like, every interaction I've had with these guys, outside of the fact that they've been doing this increased toxic rhetoric against me on their show, every interaction's been great, So I have absolutely no idea if I'll ever speak with these guys again or not. Last night I tried to get an answer out of PPP and he refused to answer me. But all of a sudden today he's tweeting. Don't talk to the guy who directly is confronting you for an answer. Instead, go tweet about it hurriedly and scaredly before Phil goes online with his podcast. Okay? Yeah, if that's how you really want to handle it. Or we could have just said, hey, let's just spin it like this and that'll be the end of it. But, he acts how he does. He makes his choices. That's life. And I'm moving on from it now. All right? It sucks. Again, I liked doing stuff with them. I enjoyed being on the show. We had plans. Here's the sad part about all of this. Excuse me, because now I'm finally going to take a sip. My mouth is so dry. Here's the truth about all of this. We had good plans. We had plans, I'm not even kidding you, for at least 2 other projects that I feel at least one of them would have actually worked. Not full drama, maybe some drama, but projects where I could be involved from time to time, where things would go well, and it would be cool because you get to see a different side of me, right? As opposed to just me just sitting here playing games, right? You want to see that. That's different. It's fun. But now those projects are dead simply because this guy wants to just push the envelope. For what? For what reason? I mean, in my opinion, that's just bad business. Not even saying if you like me or you don't, or I like them or I don't. We were actually doing stuff together that was working, that was getting attention. Even Smart Guys, to the extent that it was working, was still working. It wasn't blowing up and making thousands of dollars a show, but we were getting good views. We were getting some money. So why burn that bridge? I don't understand it. That doesn't make sense to me because I'm not burning any bridges here. PPP is the one burning the bridges. He's the one saying the toxic stuff. He's the one bringing up my wife, which he apologizes for, says he knows it's wrong, and it does it again anyway. He's the one ending it, not me. It's through his actions that this is all coming to fruition, not mine. So I don't get it. I don't. It makes me scratch my head. But then again, the older I get, I realize that not everyone is me. Not everyone sees things the way I see. Not everyone has the same perspective as me, and that's okay. Everyone's from a different walk of life. And like I said, different places, different age ranges. It's all different, correct? So be it. If that's how he wants it, he can have his way, but I'm just not going to waste my time on it. I've got better things to do than to get into an internet blood sport with PPP over nonsense. Even when, because it's bullshit anyway. It's fabrication. It's not real. It's nonsense. I'm not going to do it. You know, a few people saying he wants to come on Smart Guys tonight to hash it out. No, we're not going to do that. That's what he wants. He wants to create drama content. And he felt like this was his way to force the hand. You don't get it. And this is what no one gets. I think finally, you want to know who I think actually gets it? Keemstar. I don't know why I'm becoming more of a respectful person towards him, but the older I'm getting and the more I'm seeing the long game of this, Keemstar gets it. Like, after that interview with me, I think he understands me now as a person. He's like, nothing I do is going to make Phil do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, nothing I do, no amount of twisting, no amount of fucking with him, no amount of talking shit about him. He's just not that guy that's going to get riled up and then do stuff that I want him to do just because I pissed him off. So he left me alone. And now I'm cool with him. I have no problems with Keemstar right now at all. Zero. And I think that PPP thinks, no, I'll do it. If I can't get it this way, I'll do it this way. Then I'll do it this way. No, let's try this way. And then finally, when all those ways didn't work, let's do it this way. Finally, just talk enough shit about Phil, he'll explode, and then we'll get the content that way. You're still not going to get the content. I don't want to do the drama content. Okay? I don't want to do it. Are you ready? Gee, do you think I want to do drama content? No, I don't want to do the drama content. That's not me anymore. All right. If someone had reached out to me 10 years ago and said, Phil, we want to involve you in the drama content, I might have said yes. But instead, for 10 years, the internet beat me up. And then I said, I don't care about this shit anymore. I've moved on. I've evolved. I don't do the kind of commentary anymore that everyone says they want me to go back to. But when I did it back then, everyone said it was wrong. I have to change. All right? I'm married. I'm happy. I'm chill now. I don't get upset about every little thing. I do get upset. And when I do, I lose my cool and everyone laughs and thinks it's entertaining, right? Phil's unhinged again. And I get that. That's why I kind of ham it up half the time. But I'm just not that person anymore. I'm not the king of hate. I've changed. I feel for the better. Others say for the worse. I guarantee you PPP would say, man, you changed for the worse. You're a pussy willow now, right? You're a sissy. You don't do anything. I work 6 days a week full time. I bust my ass. And for the content that I put out for as little views as it gets, I still make a living. So I would say that's pretty successful, although it's definitely a different kind of grind that a lot of other people don't understand. Okay? So there you go. And that's it. I don't really have much else to say at all. That's kind of where I'm going to leave it. I have nothing else to say. The only way, all right? The only way that I would ever move forward and do work again with PPP is if he apologizes for insulting my wife and says he will never do it again. Okay? That's it. That's the only circumstance. Because that's the only problem I ever had with him anyway. I told him you can say whatever you want about me. It doesn't bother me. But the moment you bring in my family, right? So let's see. Let's see what happens. But he's been doubling down, tripling down, on this rhetoric. So I don't foresee it happening at all. He already literally apologized for the behavior for what he did on Monday's show. And then last night, he just did it again anyway. So, it doesn't really mean anything. No. It's more about not what you say, but what you do, right? Actions speak louder than words. And right now, his actions are denoting the fact that basically he doesn't want to work with me. If he did, he would respect my wishes, all right, to not go there. Because to be honest, I don't think it benefits him at all anyway. He's not getting anything out of doing it. I don't know if he's trying to look like an internet tough guy. I don't think so. So, whatever. I'm just so past it at this point, really. I'm just so past it, and I don't care. I'm too old for this shit. Like the classic line, right, from Lethal Weapon, I'm just too old for this shit. I don't want to sit around with drama every day. I don't. I can't go full on and become the king of hate again. And as much as people want me to, and they say that will work, and you're probably right, I just couldn't live with myself, and I would just be so tired and bored. And there goes my camera again. I would just be so tired and bored, okay, of doing it. I can't go there because I'm not that guy anymore. You understand? I changed over the years. I changed. The internet literally 100% told me to change. Back in the day, they said, dude, you can't keep doing this commentary. You can't keep doing this content. This is ridiculous. You have to at some point mature and make better content. So I literally, over the course of a decade, changed everything I did, from the style of video, the delivery of the video, the commentary on the video, the person who I was inside and out, what I portrayed on the outside, but who I was on the inside. I evolved and changed and became better. And now you want to tell me in 2025, oh, that was a mistake. Can you just erase 13 years of evolution you've had? Can you please go back to who you were, because that's what the internet wants now? That's not how it works. It's not. It's not how it works at all. Once the thing is changed, it's changed. If I go to full drama, it's full drama. If I go to full shill, it's full shill. I don't want to go there. I am who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. I have a great life right now with my wife that I very much want to keep, but not change to be some vindictive jerk who loses everything just because I wanted to make drama on the internet because it made a buck. A lot of people don't get that. They just don't understand it. You know what I mean? All right. I got to get my camera working again. It literally just worked for 45 to 50 minutes and then turned off again. This camera is still working. I just don't get it. I don't understand what is happening with these cameras. This one now is the one that's malfunctioning constantly. So give me a second. Let me go unplug and replug it in. Let's try to get it working again. Let's see if I can get it to work. Hold on. At least that's not as bad of a frame as the first one. How long will it work this time? I don't know. All right. So there you go. That's what's going on. Jasper, please get out from behind there. Don't be behind the PC. There's enough issues with that PC, buddy. Jasper Kitty, come over here. Here we go. So that's what's going on. And listen, yeah, I'll end it with this because now I have a lot of shout outs to do. I have to sit here. I have to shout out things for the rest of the show, essentially. Okay. But my final take on it is this. Okay. I understand that many of you probably came over here to watch me because of Kino Casino, and I appreciate that. I would hope that over the last, 6 to 8 months, you've seen enough of me to now know who I am, what I'm about, the kind of content that I make. And if you enjoy that content, welcome, stick around, let's have fun together. But if you were solely here because you felt like you were doing a favor to Kino Casino, right? And this was just, oh, well, they like him, or they're giving him the rub, they're glazing him, so now I got to glaze him. They even say there's like, oh, let's get our pay pigs to go over there and throw him some money. To call your viewers pay pigs, I don't know, man. I don't think of it that way. I never have. Some people do, but I don't think of you guys like that. But I do appreciate those of you who gave me a chance, watched the content, have supported it. Obviously, I would hope this doesn't mean that now we're going to see an exodus of people. I have a viewership that I've been building up on Kick since October. And we're getting more consistent viewership over there. You know, I started off with only like 30, 40 viewers. Now we're up to like 60, 70 a stream. And we're still slowly building. I feel like once new releases start coming out and I keep doing content, we'll get consistency over there. Right? And I would hope that it's not, oh, well, now Phil is done with the casino, which again, I didn't make that decision. Okay. But because this is the case now people are just going to leave in droves. But you know what? If you do, there's nothing I can really do about it. I've said this since day one that if I got snaked, that I basically would kind of be like, fuck it. It's not worth it. I probably won't bother with it ever again. Right? Okay. But here's the thing. I also don't want to sit here and say, I'm never, ever going to do content with someone else ever again. I think that that's probably a real ignorant thing to say and do. I don't want to be the guy who feels like he's locked up in his castle surrounded by a moat with a bunch of fucking gators inside. And you know what I mean? I very well could do that because I've done it and I've been successful doing it. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like, oh, let's squander all opportunities that ever come to me just because this has happened. And everyone literally told me the entire time that I was working with Kino Casino that eventually this would happen, right? It's kind of like the writing was always on the wall, and I kind of felt like it was going to happen eventually anyway, even though PPP repeatedly would say, we can't snake Phil, because if we snake Phil, everyone will be upset with us, right? But now what's happened is I've done so little work with them that now snaking me is probably entertaining to the audience because I haven't been in their content positively, right? So it kind of makes sense to do it now. I don't think that that's going to be a big deal anymore, right? So if any of you were here on behalf of Kino Casino, you're still welcome. But I'm not going to obviously be upset or not understanding if you leave. Okay? All right. Done. Let's go ahead and do shout outs and we'll go from there.